Hey, and just a quick reminder that the audio-only versions of these Vital MX interviews are available on the Vital MX podcast page. Search for it anywhere you get your pods and let your friends know about it. Hey guys, this is Darkside here at Vital MX, and I've got Red Bull Factory KTM's Marvin Musquin on the phone. Marvin, how you doing, man?
Yep, doing good. Just, getting back into some serious testing and training, and then focusing on a new season.
Yeah, I heard you were out testing today. How is it going? How's the bike? Have you made any improvements?
It's good to have people from Austria coming over and they're basically trying new things on the bike, and a little bit of like linkage or whatever, front end, or whatever they have in store, I would say. And it's always interesting to have different feel on the bike, and always looking forward to new things. And like I said, it's good to have them here for I would say like 2 weeks. So very
Nice.
busy time of the year.
Yeah, have you noticed big improvements early so far in the testing?
There's a bunch of stuff that they had me wanted to try. So I just needed to go through what they offer me, and and then after that I can pick some things that I like, and then we'll keep working on suspensions with the team in the following weeks.
Now, you mentioned linkages. Are there any other things that you can tell us that you guys have changed to try to improve, or anything that has definitely worked?
Obviously there is also engine parts that we trying to have different character of the engine. Obviously horsepower or that I don't need more, or you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
So there's things like this that we try, but there's a big difference between racing in America and racing in Europe. In Europe they have they can do so much more because of the rules. Here in the US, obviously you can't change things like the swing arm, for example, or like the frame. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
with all the rules, so that's why I mentioned stuff like linkages or triple clamps and obviously suspensions. That's the main thing right now.
Good to hear. Now, I want to tell you congrats on the last couple months. Motocross of Nations, obviously, Team France, second on the podium. Total domination at Red Bull Straight Rhythm. I'm not going to make you get into all that again, because I know you've done multiple interviews about that stuff. What I want to ask you is, I would assume as you get further in your career, knowing that you can still win maybe means a little bit more than when you were younger, like knowing that you still have it.
It's funny you say that, because I was actually standing on the podium at Straight Rhythm, and I told myself, I was like, yep, like 32 years old, almost 33, and standing on top of the podium. I know it's Red Bull Straight Rhythm. It's it's a different kind of event, but yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I caught myself saying that on top of the podium. So yeah, obviously very cool. I've always say in any interviews that until I feel I'm competitive, I want to keep racing. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be, and especially I want to keep racing for KTM factory team. What I'm saying, at a top level. We'll see in the future, but like right now, I want to be competitive, because I'm part of such a big team. I don't want to be out there and not represent the brand as much as I want to. I don't want to be like out of the top 10, or for example, I want to be fighting top 5, top 3. If I can get a win, that would be awesome in Supercross. So yeah, that's why I want to keep going.
Of course, and considering you still are a podium contender. This year alone, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think you had 6 podiums with a win at St. Louis.
Yes.
So I want to ask you this, and feel free to not answer if you don't feel like it, but with Thor not renewing your contract, was that a little bit of a disappointment, knowing that you still are a guy that can win? Like, it seems unusual to me.
Yeah, I guess, business side, I don't know. they had maybe different priorities, and I'm not in their shoes, but and maybe things have changed in their company, but yeah, at the same time, yes, I was disappointed, but right now I'm in a very happy place, and I have a great support from O'Neill, from Mark and Frank. They've been doing a fantastic job, and obviously I'm very proud and happy for them that I gave them a win at Red Bull Straight Rhythm, for the first time in their gear. Like I said, the support has been unbelievable, and they're pushing really hard. I got all the gear set up in a very short time. So yeah, it's obviously a great start with O'Neill, and looking forward my second race. I mean, my next race will be Paris Supercross.
Yep.
And it's a very important event for me, and definitely looking forward to represent O'Neill again.
Yeah, great. That's obviously O'Neill's a great company, and I mean no disrespect to Thor. I was just curious on what your feelings were. Okay, you're on a Supercross only program for 23, and I was curious if mentally that makes the training, the grind, the day-to-day grind a little easier, knowing that you should have a little bit of a break come summertime.
That's a good question, but at the same time, it's still a 17-round season, which is a very long season. I know there is 12 more after for outdoors, but to be able to race for 20 minutes main event in Supercross, you still have to do a lot of training. So to train for one or two races, you still have to put in a lot of work, and same for 17. So at the end, I think my preparation for Supercross is exactly the same if I would be racing outdoors.
Okay.
Obviously, outdoors is right next after the Supercross season, but at the end, it doesn't change anything. But like you said, probably mentally it changed a little bit. And then last year, knowing I had a Supercross contract only, definitely mentally, make me feel like, okay, after Salt Lake City, then I'm done. Like I won't be racing the next few months,
Yeah.
right? So that's why we did talk about maybe race outdoors on a 250, but at this point I was like mentally, I knew I had only Supercross to do, so I didn't feel like going into outdoors. So definitely mentally, it makes a big difference.
Okay. If an outdoor opportunity arose, would you consider it?
I mean, right now, I don't know, because it's really far away.
Sure.
But like I just say, knowing I have 17 rounds, mentally, it really set you up, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I felt when I got to Salt Lake City. Then it kind of not a relief, but at the end of Salt Lake City, the last round, I was like, yeah, I did it, and then mentally I was kind of tired after that.
Sure.
So yeah, to go out and then race again, especially 450, will be a lot for me at this stage of my career. Maybe on 250, why not? But definitely it's not my contract right now.
Okay. You're training with David Vuillemin, and I'd like to know, and actually Michael Lindsay asked this question too, maybe just what's the difference in training with David versus when you were with Alden? Maybe some things that the listeners or readers would understand. What's better for your program working with David?
Well, obviously the relationship with David is very easy, and obviously we speak the same language. So yeah, definitely easy communication as well. I wanted something, different. Obviously, Alvin's program is great. I did it for 7 years. We are, a bunch of riders that pretty much do the same program. So right now, I'm more focused on myself. I do the bicycle on my own. It is hard mentally, but it's also part of it to be by myself. So things like this. I wanted to have DV out on the track to work more on the riding itself. We're still doing a lot of laps, but we do work on some technique, and I did learn a few things with him, that's for sure. So that's exactly what I needed. So that's the biggest difference is I'm not with a group of guys and then I just follow what the other guys are doing. So that's the biggest difference right now. And it's been great at Alden's, but yeah, I wanted to keep racing and change things up. And right now, the mindset is definitely quite a bit different every day. I still put in a lot of work. I mean, I do still like a long bike rides, and it's difficult physically, and I'm still putting in a lot of work, and it's quite a bit different than Alden, but maybe the riding, it's just a little bit less in the days of during the week.
Yeah.
But I'm still, riding a lot, and just different program.
Do you find it more difficult to get the intensity up when you're on the bike riding by yourself as opposed to having, Dungey or Cooper Webb or somebody right there, battling with you?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, definitely that's why there's good things about being with a group, and you push yourself. You just got to be careful sometimes not to get too caught up in this. And that's what happened to me some years where I would never wanted to get beat at practice, which is a good thing, but it could be a bad thing.
Yeah, because if you do get beat, it wears on you a little bit mentally, right? You start going, why can't I get why can't I beat this guy or whatever?
Yes, but at the same time, every single day it's very hard mentally.
Yeah.
Always wanting to be the best is a good thing, but it's hard to explain that. Yeah, at some point mentally it's difficult. So that's why, yes, the intensity, DV really try to push me obviously on the track and do really fast laps. But yes, it's different riding by yourself. Definitely, I'm gonna try and like last year, try to go to some public tracks, and obviously at the KTM track, you have some other factory guys sometimes out there, so you can kind of judge your speed. But yeah, it is different than Alden's for sure.
Have you or will you be spending time on the track with Tom Vial, or is it a different program?
Yeah, obviously different program, but he's out here right now in California, so we see each other sometimes at the track. So, but yeah, he definitely has a different program than me, but it will always be good if we can, share some things out on the track and ride together.
Yeah. Just a few more things. I was curious if you still find or if you ever did find the enjoyment in the grind of training. Like somebody like myself, that there's no way I could ever be a professional racer because I just would not enjoy that part of it, the diet, all that. But do you still find excitement in it or fulfillment in it?
I mean, yes, there is always the fact that when you have a long back ride and then it's really hard mentally, and then when you're done with it, you're like, dang. When you look back and you're like, that's what I did, and I did it, and always proud of myself for doing it. So, and that's part of it. That's my job. So I want to do it. I mean, right now, I could say I don't want to do it and I can stop for sure.
Right.
But yeah, I want to do it, and that's exactly what DV even last year, and then this year again. Before we start doing the program, he says, "Hey, what do you want? What do you want to do this year? Like, what's your goal?" I said, "Well, I want the same. My goal was the same as last year. I said this year I want to be competitive again. So I'm ready to do a full program this winter. I'm ready to put in some work because I want to be competitive. If not, I would not even ask DV for a program, and I would just go out and ride, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So,
sure.
And I need to follow a program. I want to know what I have to do, and I want to accomplish that. I'm not the type of guy. There's probably some guys that said, "Oh, I know what I have to do." No, it's not. I'm not a trainer, even though I follow multiple programs. I'm not I'm not a trainer, so I need someone that has done it for many years and know what it takes
Mm-hmm.
to be ready for A1. So that's why I follow David's program.
Okay. What are a couple highlights from your career? Obviously, I'd say the first win, 250 championship, but I want to know more like opportunities that you've gotten because of what you do, whether it be travel, places you've been to, people you've met. Like, I'd like to know a couple highlights that really stand out.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, like you said, besides winning races and stuff, I know. I mean, yeah, the first thing that come up to my mind is as soon as I become a professional racer when I was in Europe, I mean, France in Europe, is obviously traveled to different countries over there. That's what come up to my mind. Becoming world champion in Brazil. That was unique because I didn't have my family there or my close friends to celebrate. So that was strange. The second year I did win the title over in Europe. It was in Holland. So I had my parents there and my friends. So that was cool. I mean, highlights. Yeah, racing Paris Supercross, or not even racing, but we rode and we did like a demo ride on 85s,
Mm-hmm.
like with the top French 85 rider.
Okay.
That was back in 2005, and then we were throwing like hill clickers and stuff. The crowd was going wild, and then a couple years later, I become like king of Paris. Like a couple times. Like I got it 3 times now. It's just something that you dream of when you're a kid. I used to go to Paris Supercross, do the opening ceremony on my 65, and then I was able to race it on 125, on 250s and stuff like that. So that's some of the highlights for sure that I had. And then obviously dreaming of racing in America, Supercross, Anaheim stadiums, for example. And now in my living room, I have the gold trophy from Anaheim 1, that I won on 450. So those are definitely some highlights. Having a championship plate. Unfortunately, I only got one on the 250, but that's one that I got. So,
Yeah, that's one more than a lot of guys get.
Yeah, so I came close to winning a 450 championship. That's for sure. But hey, we can always argue or look back and have some regrets. But at the end, I mean, it's so much. I mean, a lot more than I expected or I dream of. So yeah, a lot of highlights for sure.
Wonderful. What defines success to you? Because I don't feel like it's necessarily winning championships. I feel like for me, when I think of you, it's how you present yourself as a human. You, your wife, the relationship that you guys portray. The way you treat other people. Also, the actual racing success. But I think it's a package. It's not just if you were just a jerk and we're winning all the time. That to me, that's not so much successful.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting the respect from obviously American people because me and my wife we did move to America. We were 20 years old, so this is huge, and having a lot of support, a lot of love from American people. Yeah, this is definitely winning. I had definitely up and downs with the fans over the years, but I mean, we learned a lot here in America from you guys because the mentality is a little bit different than in France. So, and that's why we like it over here. I mean, there's always good and bad things here, but also over there in every country. So, winning obviously means a lot. There's nothing better than crossing the line and seeing the checker flag, for yourself. So,
of course.
Yeah, that means a lot.
Okay. 2 more questions, and I want to stick on the family topic for a minute. Obviously, your wife, Mathilde, has been a huge part of your program. We've seen countless videos of her out there supporting you, holding the pit board, and I love stuff like that. I love that she's a part of it, and it's positive, and you're about to expand your family, and I just kind of want to know like what that means to you and what maybe how you see your future of racing maybe being a little different once the family expands.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was definitely our goal to have a child, but the season just went by, one after one, and you're like, man, I like, should we wait until I'm done racing and have a kid? And I'm like, well, but I keep racing, so every single year. So I'm about to turn 33. My wife as well, she's 33. So, and I'm like, wow, okay, we really wanted to have a kid anyway, but we didn't know really when. And well, it's due, at the end of the year, right before the season, and we're gonna do it, as a family. So I'm wow, definitely excited about it, really, really. And I know my wife is gonna be amazing.
Yes.
And we wanna travel to every single races together. So yeah, definitely. We've been doing this since we're together, and this won't change with our child. We want to be together, stick together, all the time. So yeah, that will be next year a first time racing season as a dad. So looking forward to it.
It's going to make winning even better.
Yeah, or winning, or doing good things.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll see.
Last question. You mentioned Paris Supercross. That's a few weeks away. It's not far off. And if my passport gets here on time, I will make my first trip over there. So what I want to know is what is one thing that I need to do while I'm in Paris, if I make it?
Well, you're definitely going to a nice city.
Yeah.
There's a lot to see. Definitely got to check out the Eiffel Tower. That's for sure. And there's so many restaurants in there. You gotta eat really good.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, probably some people like museum and stuff. I don't. All I want is like have good food. So yeah, my I would say suggestion would be the food, and obviously the race will be really nice. The stadium is cool. And that's about it. It's easy to travel around the city over there, or with bikes or whatever, or the subway. So yeah, you're gonna enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, my passport is due literally the week before, so we'll see.
Oh, cool.
It's gonna be close. So
nice.
Anyway, well, Marvin, thank you, man. This is the first time I've actually got to interview you on the show, so I appreciate you having some time for us. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in a few weeks in Paris.
Yep, of course. Yeah, anytime. Yep, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.